the wind is blowing, and I was reading my book-length document called Blowing in the Wind, 2004, staying in New Zealand, fishing, traveling, catching fish, meeting people, but also remembering the time in Ireland when I learned how to fish, fly fish, and got trout. And then one memory triggers to the other. The location I first fished the trout, sea run trout, they call it silver, beautiful fish to eat. I got some salmon, but when I started this trout fishing with fly, there was a place called Borrowdale, and I had a painting, and I wanted to insert into this document, or the book-length document, many pictures to go with it, but I couldn't find it. Not only that, inserting the picture is one, which can be done. Then I thought about letting the AI to read this whole book, Blowing in the Wind. My life at the time, 21 years ago, or beyond that, before that, time in Ireland. And then once I got into reading it and let the Google Gemini to fix my English, there's a lot to be done, and it takes so much time. Why am I doing it? I thought about it. It's that sense of relieving when you have the energy and running around, having a good time, here, there, and everywhere. And as the wind blows, so is the story. So why am I doing it? One thing I can say is that I want to check what I was thinking and why I did that. And I found very interesting situation that I haven't changed much. At the 60, I also had the reflection of my life and what life is about and what is to come. So that is 15 years ago. And that was interesting to read because I wanted to commit myself in certain direction, the mission, and to live the best I can. So this blowing the wind was before that, 5 years before that. But it's kind of like me melting into the nature kind of experience, using fly fishing and visiting various rivers, camping, sleeping in the car, cooking, jumping in the water to swim, and not meeting almost anyone in whole day. When I did that in New Zealand, which I did like 15 times or more in South Island, spending 3-4 weeks to 3-4 months or more. And I remember reflecting back, and I couldn't remember any specifics because everything was like a dream I had, a wonderful dream. But it's gone, so why bother to look back? That was probably, I don't know, several years ago. But now, as I organize things and do this YouTube, and I stumbled into this book-length document, which I tried to published in Japan for Japanese audience, pointing a different way of life. But the PHP, the very famous company, thought about it, but didn't go through. So I posted on the web, and now I have translated in English, and the translation gets a little complex. So I need to work on it, but then, well, I'll just post it the way it is after the translation. So perhaps even 1 or 2 or 3, 5 people may read it and find it interesting to live life while I was working, but more into melting into the nature, being with the nature. Because that's what happened, that I wanted to do some work in the States, so I moved from Japan to the States in early 1980s, and after 20 years or so, and I thought I accomplished a fair amount. So after that, what's left? And then I got into Zen, and along with it is away from the busy business, but with nature. So it's like a awakening in a way, realizing what, in my case, I like to do, which I have been, including me here in Hawaii, North Shore, in hammock. People ask me what you're going to do. My answer is, I don't know, or just relax. So my day here is somewhat similar like I was in Japan or New Zealand, that 1/3 is about YouTube related activities, which is reflection of the day, or in this case in the past, and how I'm living. Am I engaged myself truly and sincerely with the way I want to live? And that's basically the check mechanism as I spend day after day. And there are enough topic, like in this case is about reflection from the past and the meaning of it. But many things happen, including those AI related issues, the issues happening in the US, political issues, or my personal issues, meeting people. And especially in the backpackers inn, a lot more exchange happens, and I posted that video about Josh and his life. And he is one of those that I can relate to quite well, and we seem to have a good time discussing, sharing ideas. So Blowing in the Wind is the title. I don't mean to relate to Bob Dylan, but everything changes and you go with the flow, but you still have something that you pursue. Like in the other video mentioned about what's the meaning of life, what's the meaning of my life to do, and how I'm engaged in that activity and living, going through CAPD, check up, plan, do, and keep on growing, being energized in what I do. And I want to keep on checking, and I was just checking in this case for the previous time that I captured the life with fishing, fly fishing. So, long story, but just an information, and if you're interested, please take a look, because I'll put it in the description so that you can find the document in English and maybe go through maybe a few pages, even a few paragraphs. One way of living. And if you have any comment or question, please send me. I'm curious what I've done and what do you see. If you're interested, to make a comment and how you feel about it. Maybe you might think I was lucky to be able to do that. Whatever the case is. But the other video on Josh's life, to me it's somewhat or very similar, that we have some idea in our heart and living our own way. So such is the background of this book and the idea that I shared for your information.